Anxiety. Anxiety is an absolute killer in sales, especially for introverted salespeople. Now, there's a common idea that extroverts make the best salespeople, and I've actually found that the introverts who really learn the process and understand the mechanics behind the sales, they can be much more consistent and definitely bring in huge commissions once they really get the idea. That said, the thing that most introverts and extroverts with ADD, such as myself, can really fall victim to is bouts of anxiety. Now, you have to understand there's two real types of anxiety. There's that paralysis by analysis of, oh my God, there's that short term, something's happening all at once. And there's also that long-term anxiety of feeling, worried and stressed about something that's upcoming. There's two really, really, really good solutions here. One for the short term and one for the long term. Let's look at the short term first. You have to look at your triggers. If you get anxious about things when they arise, what's it normally coming from? Well, normally it's coming from an adaptation or a lack thereof. There's, things are going the way they're supposed to go, and all of a sudden they're not. And you're now presented with having to make a decisive move. You have to take decisive action. And a lot of times that can be very overwhelming. You get what's called paralysis by analysis. You have all of these options and you need to try and pick one that makes the right thing happen. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that, especially in sales when things can happen so quickly. Well, the answer is what's called contingency planning. You've got to understand, people who are more extroverted generally are what we call a higher quick start. They're someone that doesn't need much before they can act. That also means that they're normally the type of person that doesn't have to think things through much. Does that sound familiar? Probably not. Because for a lot of people, especially introverts, although not exclusively, if you've got something you need to do, you really like to think through all the options first, make the safe, intelligent decision, and then move forward. And you can't have a team full of all one or all others. So both are really, really good things. But if you're someone that really needs to find all the facts, when something arises that's unpredicted or unprepared for, it's going to make that panic reflex happen. What's the answer? Contingency planning. What I get all of my main leaders in my business to do is to contingency plan every morning. So they do they set out their goals every day. They do all the things they're grateful for. They sort of align their purpose for the day. But then at the end of that, they have to write down 3 things that could go wrong. Once you've got those 3 things that could go wrong, you then have to write what you will do if those things go wrong. Chances are those are the things that will probably go wrong through the day. Meaning you have a prepared solution for when that arises, and that completely circumvents and nullifies that panic because you've already prepared it. The second one is that longer term anxiety. You're really looming something bad that could happen. What's anxiety? Anxiety is just trying to control what you cannot control. So how do we take control of this situation? You live it out. This is something that I really practice with all my guys, is if you have something that you're worried about or a situation you're trying not to incur, completely imagine it in your head and live that situation, that worst case scenario through. How does it feel? What is going to happen? And what are you going to do once those things happen? 9 times out of 10, more often 10 times out of 10, you're actually going to realize it's not actually as bad as you think. You're not going to die. Anxiety is a survival reflex. It's just trying to protect you. Once you realize you're not going to die, your anxiety is going to be completely nullified, or at least severely curbed. Guys, anxiety is a killer, but once you learn how to control it and once you understand where it's coming from and how to mitigate it, you're going to be unstoppable. Happy hunting, guys.